And we're go. Right. Good people of the internet. We have another guest today on the Wooden Work podcast. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Jerry. I am your host for today. And next to me, I have the wonderful, wait, hang on, that side. Liz at Sharkey Forestry. Liz at Sharkey Forestry, please introduce yourself and to everyone out there.
Hi, so I'm Liz Sharkey of Sharkey Forestry, an independent woodland advisor based in the East Midlands. So doing anything from between writing management plans, selling timber, designing new woodlands, anything tree related really.
I think for most people, the idea of trees being managed, it's really foreign to them. Like everyone has, well, in some way, I think it might be different for us because we're part of the industry. But when I go and speak to my friends who are, doing, I'd say, normal jobs, corporate jobs, as an example, when you're trying to explain to them, you can manage trees, you can accelerate their growth, you can, decrease their growth, and they're like, what the fuck is this witchcraft?
Yeah. There's a lot of people don't know anything for sure. I think it just reminded me of like friends just think I cut trees down. No one has a clue what I do. But I met somebody in a pub once and she was asking what I do, and I gave a long description, and she said, "So are you a vegetarian then?" And that's the last time I've tried to explain myself. There's no point. People don't know what you're talking about.
How long have you been a chartered forester for? Are you a chartered forester?
I am, yes.
You've got funny things after your name.
Hey?
You've got funny things after your name.
I know. I mean, some people have like a long list, don't they? But I just have just enough so that people know that you do know what you're talking about. But I think, when did I do that? 6 years ago, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Which uni did you go to?
Well, I didn't really. Well, no, I did. I started on the ground, so it was a bit of a different way in. I didn't even know like forestry was a career choice or anything. So I did do a foundation degree in countryside management at Nottingham Trent. But that was after I'd already started and was like well into it and just wanted to, just get something, certificate type thing to show that I know what I'm talking about. So that was quite a long time ago.
So the other question that I've got is, how much of your client base now are new woodland owners or new woodland owners? The only reason why I'm asking that is because I'm looking at the gentrification of the countryside and I'm seeing a lot more small holdings pop up, and it's typical for me around my area anyway, is people popping up and they're like, I want to plant a shitload of trees. What the hell do I do? Who do I speak to? So
it's not really happening around here, I'd say. So, like 25 years ago was the National Forest, its heyday, when there were great grants available for planting woodlands. And now obviously we've got different grant scheme, but there's just not the land available for planting it. I don't see that many. I've got a lot of estates that I manage and they might want to plant a field corner here and there, but that's about it. I don't know, it's just not happening really around here. And the grant scheme application process is a bit of a nightmare. It puts a lot of people off.
Okay.
I don't know, would you say it's different down there? Is there more tree planting going on where you are?
There is actually. I suppose because, like, weirdly, Mid Devon is on this cusp of being like fashionable, if that makes sense. So you've got the artists that have moved in, and suddenly it's all like a bit bougie, and now you've got poshos moving in, and they're like, oh, get a slice of the good life, and I'm gonna fucking plant trees and.
Yeah. It's happen around here. Riff raff up here.
I don't know. I'm all for it. But they've got a very overly romantic sense when it comes to forestry. They're like, they're trying to preserve literally every single bare rooted stock that I'm putting in, and I'm like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. It's a bit more industrial, isn't it? I suppose. Yeah.
I'm like, you can put this bare root stock in, but I can guarantee you all of it's going to be fucked.
Yeah. If it does get away, then it will just get eaten by squirrels and deer.
Yeah. But there's this overly romanticized view that, and everything is kind of nurtured to an absolute inch of its life, and it's like, but yeah, I mean, I don't obviously want to go there and smash up dreams, and I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna work, it's just pants.
But it's kind of good, isn't it? Because if people have got the money to throw at that kind of thing, let them get on with it. That's happening.
But it's as an example, like there's a lady that's bought a house not too far away from me. I probably shouldn't mention any names in case it's unlikely, but she's.
Oh no, Jerry, you've gone silent. Jerry has cocked up the podcast. He had one job to do, and nobody can hear him. So I'll just take over from here, shall I?
Is that?
Oh, you're back.
Does that work? Okay. I bought this little gizmo, by the way, if you can see it. There's a microphone, and it works well when it works, or when it's battery.
Oh, technology sucks. Yeah.
So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so there's this nice lady who's bought a place down the road from us, probably worth squillions. Anyway, she's got this pond, and all around it were these enormous poplar trees, and I think it was part of that initiative in like 1980s or something like that, when there was this like big initiative to plant poplar trees. Anyway, she wants to plant in the most swampiest, boggiest area, like oak, ash, and beech, and I'm like, it's just not how this works.
Ash. Oh God.
I'm like, I don't know any other way to describe this to you, but I don't think this is going to work. But
well, you have to go with what the client wants, don't you?
Do you?
Sometimes, most of the time, yeah. You can put your argument for and against and stuff, but they want to do what they want to do, don't they?
Yeah, I suppose. If they're the payer, then they're the sayer, aren't they?
Yeah, or they'll get someone else in that will do it. And then you'll come back about 10 years later and say, well, that's what I was talking about, which is what happens. Yeah.
Oh, the other thing I was going to ask you. So, beech trees, right? You know the guards that you plant around beech trees?
Yeah.
I found that they don't like it. They almost rot.
Which guards are you using? Because I've always used ones that have got the holes in, so that when you're spraying around them, the herbicide can get in and kill them off instead. But no, you get the ones with the holes in to allow more air to flow around them. Or people would use those kind of big shrub guards. They need more space and air. What are you using?
I'm scrimping out. I'm buying the cheap stuff.
Why don't you use the cardboard ones? Because they look good.
Yeah, could use cardboard.
Well, that's one of the new ones, isn't it? One of the biodegradable options. Cardboard
tree guards. I'm going to look this up.
Have you not seen that? You know, there's some plastic warriors out there. I've noticed a bit on Instagram. You know, really
How long do they last for?
Until it rains, probably.
No.
Have you not seen these? These are a thing. Yeah, there's some people that are really kicking off, about people using plastic. It's disgusting. I saw a video. They were like, oh, it's disgusting seeing this everywhere. But
oh my God,
yeah, if you've looked at the biodegradable guards, I mean, there's some good ones out there, but they cost a fortune. Are you Googling cardboard guards?
They actually are a thing.
Yeah, they don't work.
Someone is making some absolute money right now. Well done, then. I mean, it's only 66p per unit, but like, you know, people are planting hundreds of trees at a time, thousands.
I've got like binfuls of old toilet roll things in the garage. I was saving for craft activities. I thought I might start using them, sellotape them together. No, it's a stupid idea, isn't it?
What are you making?
Nothing. I mean, you could use them for planting in.
You can sell it less than 66p. You make a fortune.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're like, if you're going, I mean, don't know what it's like around your parts, but like we've got a deer problem here, so everything's really going in 1.2s. So I think like your 66p ones are going to be like the little ones, maybe for hedging or something.
I don't know. It doesn't say the measurements. I'm just looking at it thinking, who the fuck makes cardboard tree guards? But
you've just offended loads of people who are like spending ages looking into biodegradable guard options.
Yeah, but they don't know. I think that's the problem. That's the hard problem. Like, people seem to have this. It's like, I find tree work to be slightly irritating, like amenity tree work to be fairly irritating now. Absolutely can't stand it, because everyone's got a fucking opinion apart from the person who's not allowed an opinion, who does this shit every day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, I'm trying to get involved in that.
I sit there and kind of pull my hair out, and then like, in the end, I don't know, maybe sometimes I lose customers because I'm not arrogant, but I'm like, guys, I'm telling you, like, this is not going to work. You are not going to achieve your goal in this. And they're like, yeah, no, it's going to be absolutely fine. I'm like, oh, fuck it.
I think this is one of the big things in like tree industry and more so forestry, that a lot of things are opinion based. So say we need to thin a woodland, or what do we do with this particular woodland? If you line up 5 or 6 foresters, everyone will come up with a different opinion, slightly different, or choose different trees to come out, stay. And that's the thing. I think like landowners, clients, they go with somebody, but they like their opinions and stuff and how they do things. So yeah, it's difficult when people don't agree with you, like you're saying there, but that is because everything's based on different people's experiences, or what's worked for them or what's not worked. And we've all had different time, different backgrounds. So it not a lot of it is stuff that you learn from a textbook, I think.
Okay. So how do you approach a customer when you're talking to them about pest control?
Well, like deer and squirrels, we'll just say you just have to kill them all. And there's no grants available towards that as well. So,
and their responses, what are they typically like?
Well, you know, they've got woodland, so they understand the pressures there. I mean, like, yeah, squirrels, no one's really bothered. Like, do you know, I've never even seen a red squirrel ever.
Really?
No, never seen one. So, you know, we're just like inundated around here with grey squirrels. So everyone's cool about getting rid of those, but a lot of people haven't got the time or resources to do it. That's a massive problem. And I'm seeing woodlands that are just obliterated. I don't even know where to start and how to, you know, get the woodlands back to a good state. But yeah, deer is a bit different, isn't it? Like, most people have already got stalkers, but they want to keep like a certain population, you know, sensible population. But yeah, people are all right about it. And there's now grants available towards it, which is helpful.
Okay. So, and also, I think what people are not gauging from this is the scale in which, you know, you manage woodlands. So if we're talking in terms of the value of a woodland, of course, I kind of half know how to figure out this answer, but Liz, can you describe to whoever is watching this how you, as a chartered forester, I'm sure you probably come into certain areas and woodlands and you evaluate it for stuff that may potentially go into probate, or as an example. How do you know?
No.
Oh, right.
No, don't really get involved in like timber sales or anything like that.
Okay.
No.
So how do you calculate the standing timber? Oh, actually, first let's start off. Could you describe to everyone the difference between standing timber and roadside timber? I know the name.
Sale.
Yeah, I know the name suggests what it is, but a lot of people that are watching this aren't going to understand what that is.
True. Yeah, I have to explain that to a lot of woodland owners. So if you've got somebody like me who's managing the woodlands for them, and we need to do some thinning work or clear felling, something like that, and I sort out all the licenses, that kind of thing, or grants if there are any. And then the next step is to get a contractor to do the work. So the timber standing, if we've got an area to thin out, I will get a contractor. I know all different contractors, different ones suited for different jobs, or ones that buy softwoods, ones that prefer chip, that kind of thing. So find the right person for it, and then so we can get the contractor in, and we'll have a walk around. I've usually marked the trees up, or do a sample mark, and the contractor will give a price per tonne for standing timber. So they will foot the bill for all the labour, the machinery costs, the haulage, everything like that. And then as the timber goes out over a weighbridge or on the onboard weigher, the client will get paid per tonne for what goes out. So that is by far the easiest, less hassle. And, there's quite a lot of stress on the contractor though. If something goes wrong with them, machinery breakdown, that kind of thing, it's unfortunately all on them. So that's a standing sale, which most people do. Or you've got your roadside stuff where the landowner will pay per tonne for the contractor to fell and extract to roadside all the timber. So there's quite a lot of costs involved there. And then say somebody like me would sell the timber from roadside. So there's my costs associated with having to do that as well. So yeah, it's a lot easier to do it standing.
Is a company like Euroforest your typical kind of buyer at the moment?
No, I don't really use those big companies. I've got 20 years in forestry. I've got a huge list of all different contractors all over, different timber buyers, that kind of thing. So I go to the individual guys who will do the work and buy the timber. Don't use those ones.
Where's the nearest sawmill to you?
Trying to think. I don't really sell stuff roadside. It goes standing. I'm trying to think where. I know the contractors that take it, but there's one on the A46 not far away. But I don't really deal with those guys.
Okay, so none of the stuff that's harvested from your sites actually goes to, say, a sawmill.
Oh, it varies. It's up to the contractor. So they'll give a rate like for saw logs, for chip, for firewood, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But where they send it is up to them, really.
Cool.
So it's because it's not. I'm not like saying I don't get involved in that, and like I should know all those things. It's just not really a big part of my job because I do so many different aspects of woodland management that kind of sucks up a lot of your time and expense for the timber owner or the landowner for me doing all that faffing around, whereas you've got contractors who I know do a really good job and I know what they should be paying. So if they give a price for that and they haul it away and it goes wherever they want to send it, that's fine.
Liz, what's your most favorite part of your job?
I don't know. It's easier to list the things I don't like. I don't know. It's the people, like, but then they can be the bad part of it as well. Yes, I don't know. It's like, all the different people you get to meet, all the places you get to go to, and everyone you meet in forestry is a little bit weird, aren't they? Like no one's, I don't know. Yeah, everyone's got a story to tell and stuff, and I love that about it. And I go and I like meeting clients and landowners and contractors, and I love that like interaction and stuff, because when you work on your own, you can go like a week without speaking to anyone. So I enjoy that bit. You know, I can sell a job or go in. I've had like a recent interview at a big place where, you know, just get on well. People like your attitude and how you talk to people and stuff. And I really like all that aspect. And then you come back and you're like, shit, how am I going to get all that done?
Yeah.
So maybe I like the selling bit, like more than the work bit.
Okay. We were having a discussion before we were actually arranged to do this podcast, and there was one question on there. I'm just gonna have to refer back to the phone, by the way. There was one question on there that I wanted to ask because you said you have some strong views on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is.
Oh, what are the barriers to women in forestry? Is it that one?
Yeah. Ask you the question relating to women in forestry.
Well, I find it quite upsetting, really, because, you know, it takes me back to a time when, you know, I got into forestry and I broke a nail. I broke a nail from working in forestry. And it's just outrageous that women have to go through this kind of thing and get mud in our hair. And, you know, you can't wear heels and stuff. No, it's just, I am a bit funny about it, but I think it doesn't boil down to gender for me at all. It's about attitude. You know, if you're a really good worker, a grafter, and willing to, you know, really go for it, and you've got a great attitude for work, it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
It's like, yeah, I worked with a man once who refused to get mud on him, and we were doing this planting job, and he walked along the bottom rung of the fence all the way around the field to avoid getting mud on himself. Like, I don't know, it's not a gender thing. And I think if you're working for someone that has got a problem with that, then go and work somewhere else. What I don't get what the issue is, really. And while I'm here, there was a recent headline, wasn't there? And it was all over the place saying, you know, forestry company makes historic thing over a woman appointed like managing director. Seriously, what the fuck? It's like, I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's like saying, "Oh, really stupid person we didn't expect to do well has got a top job." It's nonsense, isn't it?
I think what you've done is you've strategically answered the question without answering the question, which is amazing, because I think no, hang on, hear me out. Partly because I think there's a portion of maybe who are people who are viewing this that won't quite realize what my social political views are. And I actually, in some ways, in the way that you've described it, I almost recognize that it might be not too dissimilar from yours. What I mean by that is, you're not only are you a woman in a workplace, the cream rises to the top, Liz, exactly how you've described.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter on your gender, race, ethnicity, whatever. All of that shit is irrelevant, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But we had an incident. Anyway, we had a young girl that worked here, and she was very hot on everything in the kind of digital sphere that was, you know, all women being marginalized and all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I tried my best to encourage her and introduce her to women who have done some pretty outstanding stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I introduced her to one of our neighbors down the road, and she's a bit of like a K80 kind of type. You know, she's traveled in some far out places on her own as a woman in places where not normal, like on the cusp of it being pretty fragile. And she's done that solo. But do you know what? Funny thing is, her response after having conversations with a woman like that is, quoted word for word, if I can remember it. They were that KAD type woman was communicating with her from a place of fear. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Really? I don't even know how that happened. Yeah.
I don't know how far. I don't know. It's almost as if there's a portion of society that is. I mean, I don't know whether or not they're screaming about all the right things, but in some ways they are. But I wouldn't suggest for a moment that this country is not allowing equal opportunity. Personally, because if you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's got nothing to do with me being at a different place or you being a woman. Not only that, you're running your show, self-employed and a single mother, and you're absolutely you're doing your thing. But
that's what I'm trying to think. Am I being harsh? Like, because I mean, it might even come across as kind of being privileged, as if being privileged, like saying, well, I don't know what the barriers are, but maybe I'm just forgetting, like, because they weren't barriers though, but I had a tough time, like, but having got through it and where I am now, I'm dead proud of myself, and I've got total confidence in myself, which gives me like confidence to perhaps not be professional all the time, have a laugh and do things, because I know I do a good job and stuff, but it hasn't always been like that. It's really tough. Like, imagine my first day at work, I was told it was a gardening job. I didn't know anything about forestry, didn't even know it existed. And in what had happened, the guys thought it'd be quite funny to get a girl working there because a girl couldn't do that work. And this is 20 years ago. And I turned up, some bloke gave me a lift because I didn't have a driving license, picked me up, didn't even know, went to this yard, and no one would even look at me. Everyone was just laughing because there's a girl there, and I didn't know what to do. And I was given a bucket of nails and a hammer and squeezed into the back of a Land Rover and sent fencing. And I didn't even know what I was doing. And like, they had porno mags in the back of the truck, and they'd be going, "Does your funny look like this?" And it's just like, honestly, and the thing is, like, leading up to that, I worked in the warehouse, and I couldn't even go in the canteen at lunchtime because I couldn't bear anyone looking at me or talking to me because I was so shy. So I was suddenly thrust into that, and I went home. That's me with a hammer. I've never, I didn't even know what I was doing, and I went home and I cried like a girl. And and then the next day, I was like, right, and growing from there, I've realised, like, if you fake confidence, people aren't to know you're not confident, and it kind of just went on like that. And so it's not always been easy, and I guess some of those things are they barriers? I don't know, but I have little patience for people that don't just force their way through it, that are like, oh, I mean, I don't even know. What could you say? What happens to a woman in forestry that stops her going where she wants to go? You can do anything in the world if you've got a will to whatever you want to do. So I don't. What do you know? What do you think the barriers are you hearing? Like,
I sometimes get asked this question, and I don't exactly know how to approach it because I'm looking at the individuals that they are asking me this question and trying to think, why on earth would that even matter? How does it compute in your head as to why that is a question that needs an answer to? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Like, and nothing against, my friends that do ask these questions. They're typically from very middle-class backgrounds. And I'm so sorry that you fucking didn't make it and you didn't do your shit at uni. That's not my fault. If you want to try and figure out the reason as to why I've managed to, do what I feel like I can do, and enjoy it, yeah, But I'm sorry you've got your absolutely awesome degree in I don't know, dolphin telepathy, and you're stacking shelves in Tesco's. Like, that's not my fault.
Yeah, but yeah, it's what you want to do, isn't it? And I think I'm lucky, like I worked as a contractor and then I went to a consultancy firm, figured that out. Then I set up on my own like 13 years ago, but I didn't need any like financial input or anything set up on my own. What I thought is, I want to do like advisory stuff, be a professional forester, I guess they call it. And all I need is my head and a computer and an A3 printer. That's all I needed. And I just went out there. I didn't have to pinch work, off like working for somebody else before. It's literally going out there, speaking to people. And in between, I would do like guard removal and stuff, crawling under hedges, taking spirals off. And I could use my experience to keep the money coming in, to keep going. And I thought, if I don't earn enough money, I could work in a pub in the evening. You do what you want to do to get where you want to go. And I think, if that's your attitude, then you're going to go far, aren't you? Whoever you are.
Definitely. I've worked loads of shit jobs before I got to do, ultimately what I'm enjoying now. Liz, there's one more question before we are coming up to the end of our time, because I know we're a bit time sensitive at the moment. What is your romantic idea in terms of the future of forestry? Where would you like to see it go? And
would you ask a man that, Jerry?
Yeah.
What is your romantic idea?
Why? No, as in, like, I mean, you could be very pragmatic about it and go, well, we need to plant more fucking trees. But planting more fucking trees isn't going to solve ultimately the situation that we're in, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But as to where it could be ventured off to, and how do you think we can achieve it, and what are your thoughts on it?
Ooh, well, yeah, this came up recently at a committee meeting, because I think with forest managers and the people higher up and government agencies, we're thinking too high up. I genuinely think we should be investing at the people on the ground, like the contractors buying machinery and planting trees and everything. They should be looked after more. Totally. If forestry wouldn't be happening if you didn't have the guys willing to go out there and plant trees, or the guys investing a fortune in these machines that break down a lot and they have a lot of downtime. Like, there's no millionaires in forestry, is there? Like, a lot of us, well, particularly, contractors, who just getting by because we enjoy the job. But I'm sure contractors more so question every breakdown. Why am I doing this? We all know we could go and work at Amazon or whatever and earn a lot more money and less stress, but people are in this because they love it. So, people want to get more trees in the ground. We need to be more sustainable timber production as a country, but we're all faffing around and meeting and talking about it and stuff, but it's the people on the ground. And I think that's what we need to be focusing on, to make forestry more of an attractive business, get more people into it, more investment on, machinery and better ways of doing things, like making first thinnings more economical, that kind of thing. So that's what I reckon. Just let's go back to basics a bit and look after the people who are actually doing the work.
Awesome. Right. Thank you, Liz. That's been fun.
Could have gone on now.
Yeah. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Get a bit ranty sometimes, though. So I didn't overshare too much, which I often do. So that's quite good.
We still got fight. No, I'm joking. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate it. Guys, what I need you to do, please, it's very simple. I need you to review this podcast if you've enjoyed it. just write a little review. It's not very hard, guys. Look, write a review, and it stops Paul pulling his hair out because the production of it costs money at the moment. And the more reviews that we get, therefore means the price. Anyway, it's boring stuff. Write a review. Thank you very much to Liz for coming on to the show today, and look forward to seeing you all very soon.
Thank you.